Today's episode is brought to you by MedCerts.
Guys, MedCerts is a much faster, less expensive way to jumpstart your healthcare career as a medical professional. MedCerts is 100% online, self-guided learning will have you job ready with nationally recognized credentials in just 4 to 6 months. Healthcare is one of the fastest growing industries, provides good pay, benefits, stability, and makes a difference in people's lives. Everyone thinks it takes years of school and tens of thousands of dollars to get your first healthcare job, and that's simply not true. You can get certified through MedCerts and start a career in healthcare without waiting for years or going into debt, which, hello, love that.
Thank you for that. The online quiz is super easy. Me and Ash did it together and we were like so interested. It's cool because they don't just look about like what you say you want to do, but they help you identify your goals. I personally love the part about like your personal strengths and then how that's tied to like a career that would be good for you.
It was similar to like a personality quiz where you were like learning about yourself as well.
Yeah. So if you guys would like to get a better future faster, take the quiz and get 10% off at MedCerts.com/advice. That's a free 21-day trial and 10% off at MedCerts, MEDCERTS.com/advice. Click the link in the description to start your new career journey with MedCerts. Today's episode is brought to you by Thrive Market.
Thrive Market is an online membership-based market on a mission to make healthy living easy and affordable for everyone. Shopping with Thrive Market is healthy without the hassle. You can easily shop by 70+ diets and values like keto, paleo, gluten-free, vegan, non-GMO, fair trade certified, BPA free, and so much more. Skip the store and the lines. Thrive Market is good for you and the planet. That's why Taryne and I love it the most. Orders of $49 or more are shipped for free and delivered with carbon neutral shipping from their zero waste warehouses, which hello. Love that.
Join Thrive Market today and get 25% off your first order and an exclusive free gift. The only way to get this offer is by going to thrivemarket.com/advice. That's THRIVE market.com/advice to get the exclusive offer of 25% off your first order and a free gift. You can't get this offer anywhere else. Go to thrivemarket.com/advice. Today's episode is brought to you by Song Pop 2.
Okay, guys, if you guys like music and if you guys like games, then this is your new best friend. Song Pop is a music trivia game where you get to see who really knows the music. You guys can play each other. You can play the computer. You can play me. You can look us up. Our username is Unsolicited Advice Pod. Original. Love it. I know. Love it. I've been on a binge kick because you can pick from different genres like 2000s or, 80s and see how well you know your music. And I am having an absolute blast with it.
So if you guys would like to get in on this and join the fun, you can click the link in our episode description box to download the game. And you can also find it in the Apple and Android App Store by searching Song Pop 2. So be sure to get it and enjoy. You can thank us later and also challenge us on the app.
It's going down.
It's going down. All right, Ash. So sometimes we get messages and the people want to know more about us.
Oh.
So I figured we could share something that no one really cares about, but everyone seems to always ask.
Okay.
What is your go-to coffee order?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked this. It's changed a lot over the years. And as of lately, I'm not going to do all the backstory stuff. I'm not going to. I am lately a drip or pour over person. However, I'm currently drinking an iced coffee with a splash of oat milk from Starbucks. I actually don't like Starbucks that much anymore, but I had an egg white bite craving this morning, so I went.
Ashley, I can't. Ask me the same question.
What's your go-to coffee order?
An iced vanilla latte with soy.
I could have answered that.
Roll the thing.
I could have answered.
Roll the thing. I die with your. It's always. Well, when I was 5 years old,
I choked.
Oh,
it was the oat milk. I also have something that I wanted to read.
Oh, okay. Wait, do you have like a little something? Because so do I.
A little something that I wanted to read. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Go.
Can I read it? This one is titled.
Should we say who we are?
Oh, yes, guys. Hello. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
This is Unsolicited Advice. My name's Ashley.
My name's Taryne.
And we're here to advise you. But until then, I wanted to share this. And if you are an avid listener,
yes,
you've listened for a while.
Yes.
Like you started from the beginning. Now it started from the bottom. Now we're here. Mm-hmm. You'll know. This one's titled Merge Dragons, LOL.
Oh my gosh.
Hey ladies, my name's Emily. Yes, you can use it. And I just wanted to say that I absolutely love you both. I am a relatively new podcast listener and a friend recommended yours to me. And let me just say that I am in love. Like I haven't binged like this in a very long time. Anyways, I was listening to your older episodes and Taryne kept mentioning the game Merge Dragons, which y'all know that was a phase that Taryne was in for a while.
Yeah.
So I thought I would try it out. All I have to say is thanks a lot to you two because now I'm addicted. Like it's unhealthy. LOL.
Yeah.
Love you both so much. Sending you the biggest virtual hugs. And she added a picture of her and her dog.
Oh my gosh. Cute.
Your fellow Merge Dragons addict.
I'm so sorry. It got so unhealthy.
Yeah.
And I was so invested. Every time I got like a new egg and I would hatch it, I felt like I personally birthed it. And so I was like, this needs to stop. You need to sleep again.
You guys don't even know. There were multiple times where I would like walk into Taryne's room like unannounced and she'd just kind of like be shocked. Like I caught her doing something bad, but she's just playing her Merge Dragon.
Pretty much everything I enjoy are things that like some people would be like, you should be embarrassed about that, but I'm not.
No,
but
it's who you are at your core.
You
should never be
was at
embarrassed
a point
about that.
where I was like, stop doing this. Like you should be doing other things with your life. I haven't played for a hot minute. You know how like,
but now that we mentioned it, we'll see what happens later today.
I might have to go check on my land. You know how all those games like get you because they get you to the point where you're so addicted and then it starts being like, oh, well, you can get that if you pay $1.99.
Yeah.
And then people like me, that's another reason I stopped. I looked at my Apple bill and I was like, you did not spend that much money a month on these dragons.
No.
What is your problem? This is why you're single.
Can you give me like a ballpark range?
I don't want to.
Just a ballpark, just an guesstimate.
Well, see, it doesn't sound like number, that much.
But it is when you're talking about purchasing gems or whatever it is you're purchasing.
Give a guess.
I'm going to go 20.
A little bit more.
30?
A little bit more.
35.
It was like the 40 to 50 range. This was specifically 1 month where I was like
so much more than I thought.
You know why though? Because I got to this point where I built up all these things and then you have
you can't quit now.
Because you can't get your dragon if you don't merge your eggs, but I couldn't get the eggs.
Hence merge dragon.
Anyways, let's move on because I have recovered. I'm like it's not my addiction anymore. And now this is putting me in danger. So
that's like when I was on my like dating app binge during like the heat of COVID and I was boosting myself like every day.
Same. Did you ever, there was one night I was literally swiping for hours and then all of a sudden this screen came up that says, we're sorry, you've gone through all your potential matches. Please wait till we refresh. And I literally read that and I deleted my dating apps.
This is it.
I was like, this is just meaningless.
Taryne and I have had multiple reckonings, I would say, during this last year of COVID with dating. You guys already know this, but when you're like, you know what? I'm done.
Yeah.
And then you delete it. It's off your phone. And then inevitably like a month later, you're like,
It's always such an exciting thing too. You're like, I think I'm going to go back on the apps.
I think I'm going to, it felt like I was going out.
Yeah.
Is what it felt like.
And then the other person would be like,
I'm going to pour myself a glass of wine and hop on the apps tonight. Yeah.
The apps are crap. Let's just be honest.
They're the worst.
Be honest. Okay, so I have a little thing to read too.
This is so fun. I love how we did not plan this.
I know. It's from,
Cute.
I think I'm going to guess Iori. It's Iori. And they said it's okay if you butcher it. And they're from Japan. So I'm going to guess Iori.
I love that's a gorgeous name.
Which is, if it is that, it's beautiful. But if it's not, I'm sure how you say it is beautiful too. Okay. Hey, Ashley and Taryne.
Hey.
My name is Iori. And I'm 17-year-old living in Japan. Shout out to all my fellow Asian Anonymous listeners. And then she put in parentheses, way too cheesy. No, we love when you guys find ownership in like our podcast, because honestly, I think that's what makes our podcast so rare, is it's not just about me and Ash. Like it's about all of you. So when you guys like write and you're like, oh, my UA fam, or we see you guys like talking to each other in comments, like it's like we're a proud parents and we're just like, our children are getting along, you know?
If you're embracing the cheese, we've done our job
Yes. Yeah. Anyways, I wish I had amazing tearing it up for you, but as anyone does, I block most of my embarrassing moments out of my head. So digging that up will not be happening today. I'm writing you two to say a little thank you. I've come to realize that people like you two are making getting older so much better and exciting for me. As a 17-year-old in this world, it is honestly depressing to think about aging and losing the youthfulness. It sometimes feels like there's no point in getting older if everyone older is praising the youth and wanting to go back. However, hearing you talk about your 30s being exciting, fulfilling, and meaningful makes me motivated to get older. I know that to older listeners here, 17 seems too stupid to be concerned about aging, but I just want to express the massive appreciation that I have for you. You are making my world so much better and hopeful episode by episode. Hope you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for reading this. Love, Iori.
Iori. I love that. Because genuinely, I agree. And I wouldn't say 17's too young, because I remember in like middle school listening to older women talk about how pissed, like horribly upset that they were getting older, and constantly talking about like, enjoy it while you're like, you know, live it up. You don't even know how lucky you are to be young and stuff like that. And so I feel like that was ingrained in my head very early too. And I wish people would have told me how fun 30 is, because 30 for me has been great. I mean, obviously 2020 wasn't great, but like yes, my 30s have been great. Like I thought I was a little scared going into it because of all of the negativity surrounding age, specifically women getting older. And I feel like we need to talk about it more, because it's great.
Yeah. And literally age is totally just a number. And I think that what's scary with age is the pressures that come. So even at 17, 18, like you're thinking about college, you're thinking about a career, you're thinking about like independence from your parents. And so there's a lot of pressure that comes with like, I don't want to go to the next stage. Yeah. But, and I also think like everyone talked about like, oh, when you're 30, your life is over. Like that's what we grew up with. That's what I heard. Yeah. And then once I remember 25 was a really fun age for me. And then for some reason, after that point, I saw 30 as like, I was excited about it. Cause I was like, I feel like once I get there, like my life will be pretty much where this is a joke. The joke's on me. My life will be all like situated. I'll be like exactly who I'm meant to be. Right. And it's funny because I think what I've learned is like, it's never too late in life to constantly be like changing and morphing and like bettering yourself. And so I think it was exciting for me to come to 30 and be like, wow, I still have no idea like what I want to be when I grow up or like where my life is going, but I'm so in the moment and just learning to like love and appreciate my life and like who I am today. Yeah. And that has made just getting older like so much fun.
Oh, 100%. I feel exactly the same as I did when I was 20. Yeah. But I am financially stable and I just have a much better sense of who I am. Yeah. Whereas you know, in my 20s, I was a lost soul trying to find myself, trying to learn, you know, as you should be around that age. Yep. But I don't feel any different from then to now, except that I just feel more secure. Yeah, no, which is a great feeling.
Girl, you got so much life ahead of you. And let me tell you, like
17's a great age.
Every year is a different chapter and it's going to bring different things. So just be excited for it and own it. Like life is too short to be worried or embarrassed about your age. Like that should be the last thing we care about. You know what I mean?
100%.
There's so many other things, but I loved that. She put a little thank you note.
A little thank you note. Yeah, wow.
I love it.
2 thank you notes.
I know.
What a great way to start the day.
We're just so cool, Ash. We're changing lives. Do you have a turn up?
I sure do. Let me pull her up here. Do you want to explain the Turn It Up section, Taryne?
Yes, Turn It Up, if you do not know, is basically a segment where you share your embarrassing moments of life. And we all join in solidarity because we've been there.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Well said. This one is brought to you by Emma. And the title is Not a Normal Day in Biology, ... A Tearing It Up. I hope you all are having a great day because you always make mine better. I look forward to listening to the new episode each Monday on my way to school. My name is Emma, and I have a Tearing It Up that just happened to me last week. I'm a freshman in college, and this semester I am in a biology lab. Last week, we had a lab about animals and how to identify them. There were jars of dead animals at every table, except for mine. At my table was a jar that had a live cockroach in it. When I walked into the classroom, the jar only had one cockroach. So I assumed that's how it was supposed to be. My professor mentioned something about 2 cockroaches, but I just figured she'd misspoke. I was wrong. A few minutes later, I felt something on my leg. Leg.
That's a hard
and I looked down, and there was the second cockroach crawling on my leg. I'm unwell right now. My body's like,
because it's one of those fat, thick ones.
Yeah,
if it's in biology,
and you need to be able to know.
Shoddy thick.
Anyone who knows me knows that I hate bugs. So of course I freak out because there's a large cockroach crawling up my leg. I used my pencil to flick it off, and my professor had to come rescue it.
Oh dear God.
Where she saw a hole in the lid of the jar, which is where it had escaped. I'm still in shock that this happened, and I definitely think my teacher should give me bonus points for my trouble. All I can think about was, what if I never noticed it on me and it came all the way home with me? Oof. That's a dark thought. Don't let yourself go there, Emma. I hope this gave you all a good laugh. I love you all, Emma. You know what? I also had a similar situation in high school for me. You guys already know this. I'm terrible at math. Yeah, I mean, so bad. I too had something similar happen to me. I was in a summer school for math, because we all know. And I was sitting at my desk, just minding my own business. And I was looking down. I went to a small private Christian school. So we were praying and my eyes were closed. Picture this. And then I hear like a thud, Did you hear that?
I mean, I heard it.
Do you think they heard it?
Yeah, they heard it.
Let me try it again.
Yeah, they heard it.
I heard that. I look up, and there is a giant, I'm not exaggerating either, I'm really good. A giant cockroach landed on my open math book from the ceiling. If I was hunched over my desk in any way working on my math, it would have landed on my head.
That's my nightmare.
In any way. The only reason it didn't hit me was because I was leaning back.
No.
But if I mid-prayer, shot out of my desk, threw my book. I flew to the back of the class.
Yeah, naturally.
Everyone in my immediate circle got up and ran, including my teacher. And I feel like me and my teacher bonded that day because I was help. And then one of the guys had to take my book outside.
And that
and he brought my book back in, and I was like, can we burn it?
Yeah. You're like, I would like trade these, please.
I'm not going to pass anyways. So just burn it.
That's rough, dude.
Those cockroaches, something about them.
In Africa, they're huge. And at night, because there's no lights anywhere, they flock. So every time I'd have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I would literally lay in bed and cry because I was like, this is not going well. So I'd have my flashlight and I'd have to sit on the toilet and literally
I have chills.
You don't want to, right? You want to just be live in this world where it's no, nothing's in here. Nothing exists. But you're fear makes you look. So I would always shine up my light, and without a doubt they'd be all over the walls, and it just was so hard for me to get past the bug part, I wish I wasn't scared of bugs.
Oh my God.
I wish.
Oh my God.
Imagine how much easier life would be if you're there's a spider. There's a cockroach.
Oof. Oof.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you're new to our podcast, which most of you I think are not, we are the biggest fans of getting help and using counseling as a tool to help just better yourselves, to find happiness, to achieve your goals, whatever it may be. So when we get a chance to partner with BetterHelp, we freak out because we just really support it, you know?
We're just like really big fans.
We're big fans.
If you guys don't know what BetterHelp is a counseling environment that is safe, private, and online, and super convenient. BetterHelp has licensed professional counselors who are specialized in depression, which is, relatable this year.
Yeah.
Anger, stress, family conflicts, also relatable this year. Anxiety, LGBT matters, relationships, grief, sleeping, self-esteem, and trauma. There is a broad range of expertise available, which may not be locally available in many areas. And then mine and Taryne's absolute favorite part about BetterHelp is that they make it super easy to change counselors. Taryne and I believe that it sometimes is a process trying to find a counselor that's the right fit for you. And sometimes that means trying a few of them before finding the right fit. BetterHelp is amazing in this area because they will allow you to change counselors at no extra cost. And we love that.
Love it. We want you guys to start living happier lives today. And as one of our listeners, you can get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/advice. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's betterhelp, HELP.com/advice. So I know I'm not alone in this, but I recently started working from home.
You did.
Yes, I did, girl.
I'm proud of you.
And it's amazing how like a big change like that can really affect your schedule.
Oh, for sure.
And I definitely was struggling with how to do like quick, easy, healthy like food and snack options, especially because I don't love going to like the grocery store. So enter Thrive Market, which has been honestly one of my go-tos.
Guys, you already know, we've talked about this before, but Thrive Market is an online membership-based market on a mission to make healthy living easy and affordable for everyone. You guys already know I said it earlier. You can shop by 70 plus diets using Thrive Market. They have keto, paleo, gluten-free, vegan, non-GMO, fair trade certified, BPA free, and so much more. You can skip the store and the lines. Thrive Market has the best selection of high quality, healthy, and sustainable products all online. Buy thousands of wholesome food, home, and beauty products curated just for members. It's a one-stop shop for everything you need: organic and essential groceries, clean beauty, safe supplements, and non-toxic home, plus ethical meat, sustainable seafood, clean wine, and so much more. Their products are ethically sourced.
Join Thrive Market today and get 25% off your first order and an exclusive free gift. The only way to get this offer is by going to thrivemarket.com/advice. That's THRIVE market.com/advice to get the exclusive offer of 25% off your first order and a free gift. You can't get this offer anywhere else. Go to thrivemarket.com/advice. Well, we are going to get into our story portion.
The nitty gritty.
If you are new, me and Ash both come to the episode with a story. Neither of us have heard the others. So one of us has a real genuine first time reaction.
Yes, always.
But most of the time when I read mine, I feel like it is a real reaction too, because I have the worst short-term memory. Yeah. So I've already forgotten.
She's like, what happened?
Yeah. I'm like, wait, is this my story? Sometimes
Plot
I'm like
twist.
shocked and I'm like, this is your story. You knew this.
You read this already.
Yeah. Okay. So this one is a short one, which we love a short one.
I love a shorty.
It's titled The Return of My High School Self. And I can say her name. Her name is Lindsay. Ashley and Taryne. I love how she didn't say it. You know how everyone's like, hey, Ash and Taryne. She's just like, Ashley and Taryne.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Very direct to the point. I love it.
Hey, my name is Lindsay, and yes, you can say my name. I love your podcast and listen to every episode. Anyways, I'm going to try and keep this short. I just finished my first year of college. I stayed local to go to college, but my two close friends from high school went away to go to college. But here's the thing. Those friendships were extremely fake and toxic. However, I didn't realize this until I got to college and began forming genuine friendships. Now it's summer and those people are coming back home. I have grown so much this year of college, and I am terrified that I'm going to fall back into the fake person that I was in high school. How do I make sure that I stay my new confident self that I've grown to love? I used to cry every day on the drive home from high school senior year because I was very depressed, but I didn't know why. I don't want to feel that way all summer long. Help. Love, Lindsay.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny how like, I don't know if everyone listening is the same, because I know we have like literally all ages and stages of life that listen to this podcast. And it's funny because I feel like you can pull stuff from like every story, right? Like even this, like she's talking about the transition from high school to college. But like even other people, like it's just any transition in life where you are afraid to go back to someone that you've grown out of is like, it's hard to navigate.
Oh, 100%. I remember I had already moved. I had finished college wow. Let me say that again. I had graduated high school. I had been in college for a couple years, and I had moved already to Orange County for my like second to last year of college. When a group of my high school friends, like we all used to hang out in high school, hit me up and said that everyone was getting together and we were all going to go hiking. I hadn't hung out or seen anyone from high school at all at this point. And I was like, yeah, I would love to. Like, that sounds great.
Yeah.
I am at the age of, 24.
Yeah.
And, I felt like I had grown a lot. I had learned a lot about myself. I was a different person than I was in high school. I go and hang out with them and we go on a hike, and I, within seconds, became my shy Ashley. Yeah. And I'm not that person anymore. Genuinely, I'm not. But it was weird how simply being in their presence, I felt like I immediately was shrunken back into the shyest version of myself, which is who I was in high school.
Which, I mean, and totally makes sense.
They didn't do anything. If anything, they were more than welcoming, like very friendly. Like it felt like old times, but because of that, it made me kind of like snap back or fall back into that like shy, quiet little Ashley.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait.
You're like, I'm not this.
And I wanted to say something, but then I would overthink it, and then I would just not say it. And then I was like, wait, we're not this person anymore. And it was so frustrating how nothing happened. Yeah. They didn't do anything. It was a natural thing.
Oh, fully. And I think that's normal, because even still, when I get together with some of my like old friends, like I don't think I as much change into that person anymore. But, you know, we're sharing old stories. We're reminiscing. Like it does ignite like a different part of me. Yeah. And I think that's okay. But I think what you're touching on, and I can relate to this to a certain extent, because I do think the person I was in high school drastically changed once I did get in college. Like a lot about me changed. My priorities changed. Just everything about me changed. And I think it's okay to still keep friendships because they were someone that meant something in your life without having to like change who you are every time they're around. Like it's like, we've talked about this before, but in New Girl, there's that episode where they're like, do you think we would have been friends if we like met today? And they're all like, no. Like, you know, they're so different. And some of my friends that I have from when I was younger, I don't know if I would meet them today if we would be friends. Like, we just have different lives. We have different like humors. We have different everything. But I still love and cherish them for who they were. And I know that we'll always be friends, you know? Yeah. So I think what you need to do is you need to really like lean into the foundation of who you are. And when those people come back, you can still hang out with them. You can still be friends with them and do things, but you need to remember that like they don't affect like who you are. So that shouldn't change. You shouldn't be scared of becoming another person, because the only person who can do that to you is yourself. So I think you're thinking they have more power over your life than they do.
Yeah.
So that would be something I would suggest is like, just you do your own reflecting, your own like pump yourself up on the way there. And then when you go back, like reflect on like, wow, I can't believe they're still like that. I'm glad that I'm not. You know what I mean? Like you can still have like a surface friendship if you don't want it to go that deep without it being like this huge ordeal.
Yeah. I completely agree with Taryne. I love that. I think we've talked about this before. I think friendships come and go. I think they move with you sometimes, and sometimes they move in opposite directions, but sometimes they come back. Yeah. And I think the most important thing and vital thing that I think every person needs to do is have a good sense of who you are at your core.
Yes.
And I like what Taryne said. I think after hanging out with new people, old people, I think it's fun. And I don't mean this in a serious way, but I think it could be beneficial to like reevaluate after each hangout and be like, what did I like about myself and what did I not like about myself? Like, what did I do that sits right with me? And what did I do that I don't want to, I don't want to morph into someone else, you know? And I think keeping yourself accountable in that way, will help you find who you are at your core. And then that way you'll be the same person no matter who you hang out with, which is the goal.
Oh, totally. And I know like, so Ash, like we've talked about this before. If Ash hurts my feelings or I'm upset about something, I can't function until we've figured it out. Yeah. Because she's my person. Like I genuinely care so much. So when like something doesn't feel right, it really affects me. Yeah. Versus like, there's been some friends that I've gone and hung out with and they've done something terrible or said something mean or whatever. And I literally in the moment, I'm like, okay. And then I like shake it off and I move on with my life. Yeah. Because I haven't given them that power
doesn't
over
matter
me
as much
to care. So it sounds
not matter. It doesn't affect you as much.
Yeah. So it sounds like that's what I'm saying. Like you're handing them too much power over like who you are and how they affect you. So you need to realize you've already detached. You've already become your own person. So when you go, like stuff should kind of roll off your shoulder more because they have a chapter in your life. They're still friends. You're still going to want to see them, but they're going to move on with their life. And so are you. Yeah. And I think you're putting too much pressure on this relationship when like it sounds like they're not meant to be those people in your life anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I just completely agree.
Yeah.
I feel like you nailed it. So I think you need to be very careful who you give that amount of power to. Yep. And I think that usually with friendships just is something that can happen over time.
Yeah, totally. You know? Totally.
If you're clicking with someone, cool, but that doesn't mean that you give them that power over you.
Yeah. But I'm excited for you because I think what's exciting is you seem to love the person you've become and you're protective over that. And I love that. And I think that's a good sign. And I think you'll find your balance, but it's definitely, I mean, with any transition, it takes time and effort. Yeah. So just trust yourself, prioritize what you need to. Also, like, it's okay to say, I can't, I'm busy.
Yeah.
You know,
we love a healthy no.
But thank you so much, Lindsay, for writing in. Good luck this summer. You got this. And
this is your summer.
This is your summer, girl.
It's also mine.
It's also mine. You said that a lot recently. You've been like, it's going to be this summer.
This is my summer.
Let's go on this trip. Let's do this.
Because last year was so bad. I'm like, it's all my eggs are going into this summer. I don't know why I said it like that.
All my eggs.
I was thinking like, don't put all your eggs in one basket or something like that. But then it sounded like all my eggs.
all my future offspring will be spread this summer.
This is the summer. It's happening. Oh, shoot.
All right, y'all. So I feel like you should know this. Me and Ash, we love music. We're both super competitive. And I mean, you should know, I love my phone games.
Taryne, yeah. She sure does.
My phone games. And what ties all of this together? How about Song Pop 2?
Song Pop 2. Song Pop
2. We actually we genuinely will be just like cooking or something, and I'll be like, Ash, name this song, or like finish the lyric. Like,
absolutely.
we love
it's one of our favorite
stuff.
games.
Yeah.
And basically that's what this app is.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, Song Pop 2 is a music trivia game where you can challenge yourself to see who knows the songs the best. You get to pick from different genres. I always go early 2000s because hello, my era.
Yeah.
My era.
I love pop.
Song Pop 2 is a free download. It's absolutely easy to play. You can play the computer or you can play your friends. You guys can even play us.
Yes.
Our username is Unsolicited Advice Pod. I have so much fun with it. I caught myself, I was the other day I was like waiting in line and I was like, oh, bored because the line was going to take forever.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what?
It's a perfect time to play.
I'm going to whip out my AirPods.
Yeah, you are.
I'm going to hop on Song Pop 2. And I had a good time. And it's just honestly so much fun. It's very positive and just a great time.
So if you guys want to get in on the action, all you need to do is go to our description box for this episode and click the link to download the game. And you can also find it in the Apple and Android App Store by searching Song Pop 2. So get on it, go have fun. We are so excited to see you on the app, and make sure to challenge us. So all of us, I feel, have had a time or point in our lives where we've struggled with acne. I know, like, honestly, I still randomly will have like a moment, and we've all tried like every freaking remedy. I've tried like the toothpaste hack.
Oh,
I've tried like those Band-Aids that you like put all over your face. And it's crazy because like, even though some stuff might help, like it still is not like, it doesn't actually work because we need like prescription treatments and stuff that's like meant for our face. And that's why we're so pumped to be partnering with Apostrophe, which is a prescription skincare company that offers science-backed oral and topical medications that are clinically proven to help clear your acne.
UA fam, Apostrophe connects you with a board-certified dermatologist who will create a personalized treatment plan that is perfectly tailored to your unique skin needs. Simply fill out Apostrophe's online quiz about your skin goals and medical history, then snap a few selfies, and your dermatologist will create your customized treatment plan. Apostrophe treats acne, and they can also help you hit other skincare goals like reducing redness, wrinkles, and even dark spots. I got my first Apostrophe product in the mail. It was great.
Yes.
First of all, for obvious reasons, didn't have to leave the house. It was fantastic. Came straight to my door. It came with the cutest little postcard and stickers to completely personalize.
That was my favorite part too.
My prescription bottle, which was super cute. And again, I didn't have to go to the pharmacy. I didn't have to wait in line. I didn't have to do all of those menial tasks because it was all online. The quiz was super easy. I got to speak with my own dermatologist, and the whole experience was just fantastic. And look at my skin.
You look beautiful. You're glowing. We have a special deal for our audience. Save $15 off your first visit with a board-certified dermatologist at apostrophe.com/advice when you use our code ADVICE. This code is only available to our listeners. To get started, just go to apostrophe.com/advice and click Begin Visit. Then use our code ADVICE at sign-up and you'll get $15 off your dermatology visit. That's apostrophe.com/advice and use that code ADVICE to get your dermatology visit and save $15. And we thank Apostrophe for sponsoring the podcast. So as you guys know, me and Ash are so passionate about health and helping others. And we have so much respect for the people who have careers where they do that and they're dedicated to that.
Our heroes.
And also, I mean, I know that's something like I've thought about going into, but if you guys are also thinking about going into something that is a career where you're helping others, it's easier than you think thanks to MedCerts.
Guys, MedCerts is a much faster, less expensive way to jumpstart your healthcare career as a medical professional. MedCerts' 100% online self-guided learning will have you job ready with nationally recognized credentials in just 4 to 6 months. Healthcare is one of the fastest growing industries, provides good pay, benefits, stability, and makes a difference in people's lives. Everyone thinks it takes years of school and tens of thousands of dollars to get your first healthcare job, and that's simply not true. You can get certified through MedCerts and start a career in healthcare without waiting for years or going into debt, which, hello, love that.
Thank you for that. The online quiz is super easy. Me and Ash did it together and we were like so interested. It's cool because they don't just look about like what you say you want to do, but they help you identify your goals. I personally love the part about like your personal strengths and then how that's tied to like a career that would be good for you.
It was similar to like a personality quiz where you were like learning about yourself as well.
Yeah. So if you guys would like to get a better future faster, take the quiz and get 10% off at medcerts.com/advice. That's a free 21-day trial and 10% off at MedCerts, medcerts.com/advice. Click the link in the description to start your new career journey with MedCerts.
Okay. On that note, we're going to dive into my story.
Amazing.
Again, as you guys already know, Taryne has not heard this story, so she's going to be giving you some real-time reactions.
Real time.
This one is titled Healing from a Toxic December.
Ooh.
Dear Taryne and Ashley, I love how she puts in the very beginning, not anonymous.
Yeah, thanks.
My name is Danielle. I wanted to start out like the rest of your listeners and say that I absolutely love the podcast. You guys have been making my Mondays for quite some time, and I have always wanted to send in an email to you guys from the beginning. In fact, I have written so many emails, a couple sent, but mostly left in my drafts to you guys that it has gotten hilarious. Yet sad that my autocorrect doesn't even try to fix Taryne's name anymore.
Was it tartness?
She's written so many times that it knows Taryne.
I love it.
That's, you know,
I love it.
Once that happened in my phone too, I was like, thank God, because there were so many times.
I don't like, do people use the word tartness so much?
I don't know.
Have you ever used that word in a question, a sentence?
No.
This,
nope.
This orange has a bit of tartness.
No.
Like who talks like that? Anyways,
I am today. I'm going to use it in a sentence.
Do
today.
it.
She finishes that little paragraph by saying, fingers crossed that I actually get this email sent out. Well,
Yay,
girl, you did
it.
Before I dive into what I need advice on, I wanted to say thanks to you guys and my doctor. I recently took a leap of faith and decided that therapy needed to be a part of my life. It has honestly been a life changer for me to finally be getting to the healing I needed. I have been through a lot dating back in September of last year and had at least 4 major life changes at the age of 21, 22 within a short timeline of 4 to 6 months. I will save you the details, which really could be written into a full-length book, and just say that your girl is mentally and emotionally drained. So I am writing to you guys this time for advice about how to talk to my mom about my therapy. I have been having a hard time discussing my sessions with her, especially when a good portion has to do with the fact that my mom played a part in the trauma I was left with.
Yeah, that's hard.
Recently, I opened up to her that I was struggling with anxiety more than ever before and had told her I was going to seek help for it, along with the unresolved trauma. At first, she was unsure I should even do therapy because she believed it would go on my, quote, permanent record. But when I expressed to her how much I needed to heal, she has been fully supportive of me. The thing about my mom, though, is that she wants to help me too, which I can recognize as how much she loves and cares for me. But how can I tell her that it feels too intrusive and pushy at times? How do I tell her that I would like to keep what me and my therapist talk about in the sessions private? It's especially hard to let her in when she had invalidated my claim of her role in my trauma during the events she was involved in. Any advice would be much appreciated, but I fully understand that this probably won't be read on the podcast. This is already therapeutic to get my frustrations out, at least in email form. Anyways, thank you guys for making my Mondays. I hope you will never stop recording these episodes. I don't know what I would listen to while I work out otherwise. LOL. Thank you, Danielle. Aww. And she adds, P.S. I'm an Enneagram 9 wing 1.
Oh, hey, Ash.
Hello, me.
Hello, Ashley.
What's going
Danielle.
on, girl? What's going on, girl?
Honestly, that's people. Well, by the way, perfect segue. Guys, we're finally going to do our Enneagram episode.
It's happening in
probably
two
like 2
episodes.
Weeks.
Yeah.
But I'm mentioning that because I'm excited, but also because instantly, and I kind of love that it was at the end, right? Because I was already forming my own, like, picture of her, stuff I would say, all this stuff. The second she said she was a 9-wing-1, the entire story changed for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's why
we love
the Enneagram is such a cool tool, because it gives you like a baseline of someone.
Yes.
And yes, everyone's different. Like, I'm not going to be the same as every two.
Right.
There's differences, but the core like struggle or motivation is there. And so for me, that's cool. And that's why we both love the Enneagram so much. Could you see that? Like, did it same for you?
Yeah.
When you
I read it, I was like, oh, okay. And then she said 9-wing-1 and I was like, oh my God, I know. I feel you now. Like, it just changes everything. If you guys don't know what the Enneagram is, get excited, because we're doing a focused Enneagram episode. But the Enneagram is a personality test that you can take. It has a ton of resources. It's the most accurate personality test I've ever taken.
Yeah, same.
And I have benefited from this in every relationship that I have, including like family relationships, friendships, work relationships. Like, all of them have been dramatically changed in a positive way because of the Enneagram.
Yeah, same.
So highly recommend. There's free tests you can take online. But yes, she's a 9-wing-1, which means she's a little more private. She's a little bit of a perfectionist. She hates conflict, which is why she's having a hard time talking to her mom. And she likes to figure things out for herself first before she ever speaks to anyone about it. Because if she doesn't know where she stands on something, then she doesn't feel comfortable articulating those thoughts. Yeah. Whereas like I have, like my sister, she's a brainstormer out loud, verbally. Yeah. She just verbally vomits like all of her thoughts and then comes to a conclusion. I don't work that way. Yeah. And I'll sit there quietly and take it all in and be like, okay. And then I'll think about it. And then once I do say it, I firmly stand by it. If that makes sense. Yeah. But if you are going through all of this emotional, like sorting with your therapist, then it only makes sense that you don't want to talk about it yet, because you're still in the middle of it. You're figuring it out. And I think, there's a couple things I want to say, but I don't think your mom fully understands what therapy is. Yeah. The whole putting it on her permanent record thing. What does that mean?
No, I literally like laughed when I heard that, because I was like, wait, what?
And just because you choose to share something that you learned or realized during therapy doesn't mean that everything's open to anyone. Like, I would keep everything very private unless I felt like I wanted to share, so her wanting to know how each session was, is not, I don't want to say inappropriate, but it is more towards the inappropriate side for me, because that's something that I would rather her, and maybe this is something you can tell her. I would be like, hey mom, like I'm happy to share things when I feel like it, but I would rather you be like, hey, you can let me, is there anything you wanted to share, and
or
if
even
it's
just
no, then it's
how
no.
was your session, and you saying like to open up the question,
we
but
don't
giving
need details.
you, and it's funny because, like you just started therapy again, Ash. And it was funny because I didn't even know until like you casually mentioned something and I was like, wait, what? And you were like, oh yeah, like I forgot to tell you, And I think people who are in Nine's lives, it's hard to navigate, especially if you're the type of person that shares everything. You tie a personal thing of like, wow, they really just must not care about me. The fact that they don't tell me stuff, you know, like you feel very isolated sometimes.
Which is maybe where her mom kind of is.
And that's what I'm trying to speak on. Understand. Well, I don't know. Cause she sounds like she's unhealthy in certain ways too. And maybe I am too, but I will say, I think until I understood that about you, I had a hard time with it. Also, I can't imagine, like, because it sounds like she did try to share and confront some stuff that has happened with her mom. Yeah. And her mom shot it down, which I feel like from a 9, like that would shut you up forever, wouldn't it?
Yeah. If I'm a very sensitive person when it comes to me sharing stuff. If I work up the courage to finally say and share something voluntarily that's very personal to me,
And that's a huge conflict.
Yeah. Like,
that's huge.
Like if I was to, like, let's say me and Taryne went through something and I decide to actually vocalize my thoughts and like package it up and tell you, which is a very vulnerable, puts me personally and my personality in a very vulnerable place. If you were to just shut it down and not even give me the chance to like explain further or walk away or whatever. Yeah. And this isn't a good thing necessarily, but I would have a hard time coming back from that.
Oh yeah.
I would be like, cool, that's done. I'm never doing that again.
No, I know. And I think that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know if your mom knows how you operate. Yeah. And I think that if
how therapy works.
I mean, yes, like that there's a very big difference from like, how is your therapy to like, you need to tell me everything that you talked about and whatever. Yes. But I have a feeling she's a little bit more wanting to know because you've mentioned that you've talked about her. Mm-hmm. So it's probably a little bit of self-preservation,
a little bit of a personal thing.
Yeah. And I think that there needs to be a day. Like, I remember when Ash, there was a couple times I listened to your podcast on Enneagram 9 and I literally came to you crying and was like, I had no idea that like I literally sat with her and I was like, is this really how you feel? And she was like, yeah. And I was like sobbing. Well, I cry all the time, so that's not, but I was sobbing because shut it. Because I was like, wow, that's so much to balance. And from the outside, you always have this like more like calm and steady demeanor, which I think can be misinterpreted as not caring. But then to know that behind that face and that facade, it kind of is a facade because nines have so much more going on than
I always
people
kind of
now.
Like called it like a mask.
Yeah. But to know behind that was so much like questioning yourself, worrying about what others were thinking, doing. I was like so blown away by that. So there was that moment. And then there was a moment where we finally sat and you finally like shared like, okay, I can't just like tell you everything. Like you can like just tell me something in the moment and be like, I'm upset because you did this. And you were like, I cannot do it. Like, I don't think you understand. Like I will never do it. And I was like, but why? Just tell me how you feel. And she's like, I can't because I care about you. And I have to work through my feelings. I have to get figured out like what exactly I want to say so that I can deliver it in a way that I feel like will be productive. Yeah. And once I like sat back in that, I was like, oh my gosh. So when she does come to me with this very calm, like, hey,
it's always,
so the other day, and she'll tell me something, I always am like, I'm so proud of you. She could literally be like, hey, I actually hate you and you're the worst. And I would be like, I'm so proud of you because that's a big deal, but I wouldn't have known that if she didn't share it with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think something that people don't realize, and this is only something that comes with fully diving into the Enneagram, which we are about to do in our next episode. Nines have anger problems.
Yeah.
Which you would never know because we're the chillest. Yeah. The freaking chillest. Yeah. But it's because it's taking all of our energy to hold back the anger. Yeah. So if there is some kind of conflict, I'm raging inside. I'm flipping tables. I'm tearing curtains down. Yeah. But I can never express how I feel in that moment because I don't know what I'm going to say because it takes me a minute to calm down, to collect my thoughts, to get my words together so that I can like intentionally deliver my thoughts, if that makes sense. Otherwise, I'll be a blubbering mess. I'll cry and it'll just be a big mess.
Yeah.
So it's
which would make you uncomfortable too. Yeah.
And this is something that will only work with people that are in your life, like a close friendship or, you know, your mom. Obviously these people would have to be in a healthy place to be able to reciprocate. But me and Taryne had to come to terms where she had to realize I physically am not capable of doing what she was wanting, but she's able to be like, hey, when I see you trying and I'll take the little wins and I'll go with it, and that's good for me. And I've learned that I'm like, okay, Taryne would like me to share more. I'm gonna try, you know, and I do like little things here and there. And it's always about finding that balance, that like middle ground.
Yeah, so that would be, I mean, honestly, the Enneagram might be a cool tool for you to use with your mom. Like, have her take the test, you take the test, go over each other's numbers. If you don't want to do that, and honestly, I would work this through with your therapist too. Like, go into your session. I think that's what people, when they go to therapy, there's this, first you go and you spill everything, right? Then you hit this kind of like, okay, we've kind of dealt with that. And especially people who aren't comfortable in therapy, you tend to like clam up and you're like, okay, well, what now? And you feel like you can't really talk about too much. But the whole point is they're there to help you, right? So I would go into my therapy sessions with very deliberate, like, if I were you, I would walk in, I'd be like, hey, I really need help setting healthy boundaries with my mom because A, B, and C, this is the way that she talks to me. This is the way our conversations go. This is how I would like to talk to her. This is what I'm willing to share. And I would talk through boundaries with your therapist. But I think also you need to be okay to say to your mom, hey, yeah, my session was really good. And if she keeps digging, to say, you know what, mom, like right now, me and my therapist are like working through stuff and I'd like to keep that to myself right now. But if I'm comfortable sharing, like I definitely will let you know. And that's okay too, even if she gets mad.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with Taryne. Boundaries need to be drawn. Lines need to be drawn. I think it's going to be best for all parties involved.
Yeah. I'm excited for you though, Danielle. I think you're in the best part because you're like seeking help and you're open to it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, all that matters is that you are progressing and the people in your life need to either get it together and catch up or they lose out on a piece of you.
Yeah. What's exciting is you know what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And with the help of us, I'm just kidding. Obviously, with the help of your therapist.
Spit my coffee everywhere.
With the help of your therapist. Therapist. Damn it. With the help of your therapist, I think you'll be able to do that in a very healthy and productive way. So
love it.
Stoked for you, Danielle. And look at you. You got your email sent and we even read it. So
9 wing 1. Get it.
9 wing 1. Just, powering through life.
That's what I love too, is like everyone who's a 9 listening to that story was probably like, ooh, oh my God, that's so hard. Whereas me, when I was first listening to it, I was like, come on, girl, you can do it. Like, just do it. Yeah. But it's like, we all are so different. People are so different.
Taryne, if it's someone that Taryne cares about, she's great with conflict. She will sit you down. She'll pour you a cup of coffee and be like, we need to talk.
Yeah.
And I'll be sitting there going, oh my God.
It's so funny because literally
I'm having heart palpitations.
I always look at her and I'm like, okay, what is the worst? Like, honestly, what are you afraid of? Like, it's me.
The friendship ending. Yeah. Because I'm very irrational in that vulnerable state. Yeah. Hitting the fan. All possibilities are a possibility.
I wish I could film the way that your face changes. Your body language changes. You just freeze up and then your eyes gloss and you just look like you're like
deer in the headlights.
Just stunned. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm preparing. I'm tensing and preparing for absolutely anything coming my way.
Whereas I'm like, oh, let's talk about this.
Taryne's so like, easy. Let's dive in. Let's sort out our emotions. And I'm like, she's all excited. And I'm just over here going,
help. Help me.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for writing in. As per usual, we're going to wrap it up with a dad joke.
Yeah, we are. All right. What did the pirate say at his 80th birthday?
Argady.
The thing is like, I guess it's kind of close, but like also not at all. What I was like. He said, I'm matey. Get it? I'm matey.
That's close. That's kind of what I said.
Arg-matey is not. Argady?
Arg-80 is what I said.
Ashley, no matter how many times you put your fist in the air, it doesn't make it better.
I got half of it right because I said 80.
I'm matey. Get it? I'm matey.
Yes, I get it, Taryne. Guys, thank you for listening to us.
We love you.
Always. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.